Hey, good morning, everyone. Yes, so very stunning day, a very stunning morning. And yeah, we are this morning excited to once again speak up for our uniquenesses. And this morning, I'm wearing a shirt that really represents women in general, that really represents sisters in general. I'm reminded that when I look at these women of color today and the shirt, then I see women in general today that is all a woman of color. And today I really want to focus on how keeping our seats. And today when I look at on the shirt, I'm reminded of my sister Antoinette and me. And this morning I want to talk about having that real care for one another, having that real empathy with one another, that real sisters would have and real family members would have, and that our mindsets of the way that we used to think about one another should be a mindset that we sometimes have to only see the good in one another, even if you want to see the challenge, even if you want to see the negativity, you sometimes have to allow yourself to continue to see the good in someone else. And that is this morning our step as a generation to say that yes, women are out there speaking and representing with color. And the only strength in the season that is going to keep us through is if we really allow one another space, and if we really allow one another to prosper, and to say that, you know what, it's not only all about me. It's not only all about Rabia, but Rabia's got sisters. Rabia's got people that she needs to care for and that truly cares for her. And sometimes we don't know people cares for us. Sometimes they don't have to say it with all the words. Sometimes they don't have to tune in to be all the time on your social page. But for us as a generation, we have to learn what it means to be family. We have to learn what it means to accept and to be really appreciative with where we are at, with knowing that the room is for everyone, that this house is for everyone, that earth is for each and every one of us. And therefore, we would need to understand when we see differences, when we see uniquities, we're not going to throw those differences in one another's faces and go and say that this is your mistakes, but we're going to say that, you know what? I'm here to say that you can be better because I have learned to be better. And therefore, in this season, as a generation for women who stands next to the husband, for women who stands next to the man, they need to know they stand. And for a man that needs to stand this season, he needs to be the man about it. And sometimes you're gonna have to be loud about it. Sometimes you're gonna have to say it with everything within you. To say that, you know what, no matter my disagreements, no matter my challenges, no matter how I grew up, no matter what I've been educated when I grew up, I have this opportunity of now to be a better change. I can't wait for tomorrow to go and make a difference. I can't wait for tomorrow to go and be a better change. But I can do this now. And people will either have to accept me the way that I am, or they will have to learn to find out what it is that they need to get right in their lives. And therefore, we need to live with that open approach of saying that to us, we have spoken last month and when we started the year to say that it's not about black and white, that it's not about seeing only black as black and white as white, but it's about seeing the difference in one another. It's about accepting that uniqueness. And sometimes accepting difference is challenging. Sometimes accepting that someone else has made mistakes is challenging. But we have to allow ourselves that freedom in order to know that we are all freely born, in order to know that we are all individually born. You can't keep someone else's heaviness on your shoulders. You can't carry someone else's heaviness every day. Sometimes you have got to release. You have got to release, because it sometimes really makes a difference when we release one another and when we say, this space every day, I see your face and I can't deny you. I can't say that you are not here. I can't say that you have not appeared. I can't say that I now hold this and this against you if I see that tomorrow you're going to be there again. So we're in a season where we're going to have to take that step back and saying that black and white is overruled with that color of a difference. The emphasis on a generation of accepting the space for everyone. And yes, it's going to be challenging, but everyone would need to know how to respect the other. We need to learn to respect ourselves so that those borders and so that we keep ourselves protected at all times. We need to know not to flaunt something else in someone else's space. We need to know not to remind someone consistently of their mistakes. But sometimes we have to step back and say, but this is life. This is upon each and every one of us. I say that the sun shines upon each and every one of us because it is meant for each and every one of us. And who is there that can tell you different in any day? And therefore, in order in this season today, our discussion of making sure that you keep this seed, that no one else steals the seed away from you, you're going to have to know how to keep your seed. And we want to focus today on how do you know how to keep that seed, how to keep yourself free of anything that hinders someone else to come and steal the seed away from you. We're in a season that we say, no matter how I'm going to stand my ground. I myself grew up in a generation that came through a lot, but there's also a reason why they had to know, why they had to be there, why they had to go through that humiliation, why they had to go through that abuse. And in this season, in order for us to take that step back as a generation, we're going to need to say, in order for you to prosper, we're stepping back and we're going to say, let me be less of me and allow someone else to also appear. And that's the season that we are in today. And therefore, our freedom is never in someone else's hands. It's never in someone else's control. It's us taking individually control over ourselves every time that you get the opportunity to appear, that you see the new day coming up, that you see the new day coming forth, you make sure that you appear. You don't set aside and give your seat over to someone else. You don't go and sit in a corner with mental challenges. You don't go and sit in a corner being abused by someone else, but you keep your seat. You get out of that corner every season and you appear to prosper. That is where we are at this season. And let us continue to do that, because today I want us to focus on why do we have to keep our seats? Why should we not give our seats over to someone else? Why should we hold on to it with everything that we can? And why should we allow ourselves to every time be set free in order to keep the seat? Because if you are not set free, you put hindrances there, you put barriers there, you blind yourself in order to not see yourself prospering. And therefore, sometimes in order to see, you need to see from a distance. You need to take a step back so that you know how to step forward better. And this generation in this season, in this year 2022, we're going to take that step back in order for us to say that I'm gonna speak less, I'm gonna say less than what I want to say, less than the anger that I feel within me, less than the hatred and the resentment that I sense in the atmosphere. And I'm not going to flaunt it in everyone's faces, but I'm going to say, let me take that step back in order to be a better me tomorrow, in order to appear better tomorrow, in order to prosper with people knowing that this is a non-negotiable situation, that keeping this seat is non-negotiable. No matter if people speak about how humiliating your situation is, no matter if people speak about how abused your situation is, no matter if people speak about how disgusting your situation is, you tell those people that you told the situation that you have appeared once again to stand your ground, to keep your seat, because not even a situation can steal your seat away from you. And therefore, let us be ready in this season to know where we're fighting from, to know where we're protecting from, to know how to respect, and to know how to be free with everything that we do. Let us be there today. And let us be in that mindset of knowing where we are. And that's where I want to start today, and where I want us to be at today. And I want us to focus with this half an hour that I'm going to just walk us through just a few steps on what we can do in order to make sure that we set ourselves free every time. Because it is important to continuously and to every time set yourself free. With setting yourself free, I want us to really this morning start with forgiveness as the main factor. And I know I've mentioned forgiveness before. I know I have spoken about forgiveness before, but I'm really going to take you all on a journey this morning of why it is important to forgive. I'm really going to take you all on a journey of the challenges that I realized that my generation grandmother and my Mama Anna had, And with the challenges that they had, they allowed creation, they allowed existence to step them forward and to have them forgive every season in their lives. And I'm reminded of why it is important for us to know that when you forgive, you allow yourself that freedom. And sometimes we don't know how to explain forgiveness. We don't know how to forgive. But sometimes forgiveness just means you take a step back without reacting. Sometimes forgiveness just means you take a step back without saying something. Forgiveness sometimes just means you take a step back without having to respond on what someone else said concerning you. And sometimes in this era, we need to say that we're gonna know how to forgive by knowing how to take a step back. We're gonna know how to forgive by knowing how to not react so fast. We're gonna know how to forgive by knowing how to set ourselves free in this era. We're gonna know how to forgive by knowing how to control our emotions. And yes, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of factors that in this era has us being angry, has us be having hatred. And we are flaunting it all over social media the whole day. Everyone that tunes in has to read concerning the anger of someone else. And we're in a season where the number one step of forgiveness is us keeping control. And us keeping control means you need to know when to react. You need to know how to react. You need to know your new walk every day requires you to keep control. You need to know that, yes, we have mentioned this just now, but the sun shines on you also. Even if you are challenged with someone oppressing you, you need to know where you are at on earth. You can't go and reject and be blinded for knowing that you were meant to be here today, and then you don't see it because someone else is abusing you, because someone else is telling you about your mistakes, because someone else is manipulating you. You need to know how to control the hatred when you are being hated on, so that you know how to keep your seat, so that you know how to not have someone steal your joy, so that you know how to not be emotionally challenged, so that you know how to not be emotionally tired, but to be physically, emotionally, mentally well looked after. That is what it means to keep the seed. Keeping the seed does not mean you have to go first and first. You can't be in a mindset of first and first anymore. I remember sometime when we were young, I learned that sometimes I'm gonna have to go first. And then when I grew older, I realized, but first can sometimes be dangerous, because if I fight this battle, I don't know the strength of my opponent. I don't know the strength that they would be coming back at me. And I sometimes have to ask myself, am I going to challenge myself in that way? Am I going to have my seat stolen in that way? Because the reaction of that person can be the reaction that might change the whole life. The reaction that might take my seat away from me. And I always say that, you know what? Existence does not require us to defend him. Existence does not require us to go and defend our cases, because existence is existence. And we as human beings, we need to know that we exist from mere existence. That does not want to be explained. That does not want to go out and defend and say, but I defend existence. I defend my creator. My creator defends himself. And sometimes as human beings, we're gonna have to step back and say, not by my power, not by what I do with the fist, not by my strength of hitting that person, but by sometimes stepping back and allowing the process. Because sometimes stepping back is making that better choice that will not only affect me, but that will affect everything concerning where we are today. And that is knowing that the sun shines on each and every one of us. But we need to know, how do you receive your blessing? When the sun shines tomorrow on you, where is it that your mindset is at? Where is it that you are planning to fight another battle? Where is it that you are planning to want to hinder another day for yourself? You sometimes have to say, I need to know how to prosper. I need to know that this seed was meant for me. I need to know that I cannot not deny the seed. I cannot reject the seed. I cannot give the seed over in someone else's hands. But I'm going to say, I know how to receive my blessing. I know how to prosper in life. I know how to be where I'm required to be. I know how to not wear my mask, but to rip the mask off and to say, this is me. I don't need any mask to display, to explain who I am. I don't need any hindrances to silence me, but I know who I am. I know the step that I take. I know where I'm at in every season. And sometimes we're gonna have to be loud about it. Sometimes we're not gonna have to be silent about it. We're not gonna have to be silenced out with it. But sometimes you rip that mask off and you say the way you meant to say it. You don't say it with anger. You say it with all respect, but you stand your ground in season. And that is where we need to be. We don't give these seeds off. We don't sow anything in the atmosphere that you have got control. We say that we exist from existence, the same way that every one of us exists from existence. And that is our every step, our every way of accepting ourselves, our every way of knowing that we were all meant to be here. We were all meant to appear. We were all meant to keep these seeds. And if some of us don't know how to keep their seeds, they don't come and force me their ways in order to steal my seed. But I will keep my seed because I know who I am. So if they don't yet have gotten to know themselves, they're in a season to say that you're either gonna be there or you're not gonna be there. Because where we are as a generation, we know how to keep these seeds. We know how to respond and how to represent ourselves. We know our walk. We know where we are as a generation. And we're not gonna have anyone tell us anything else, because each one of us is individually born. I always say 1 + 1 to work together, but individually we would know how to work together. We would know how to represent. We would know what to accept on yourself. We would know where we are individually born, because yes, we are all here. We have all got our differences, but we all exist from the presence that has created us and that is existing within us. And that is you keeping your seed every season. And that is where we are at with existing from existence. I believe that I have started with the Vogue. And when I started with the Vogue, I have meant to speak prospering steps. I have meant to speak prospering seasons. And I have said you either accept it on yourself or you put yourself aside and you say, I'm going to wait for another day. But only you have the choice, because a Vogue only speak once and we only appear once and we only say that thing once, and that blessing is only going to be there once. So whoever misses out on it, misses out on it. And that is where we are at as a generation. It is not about who viewed in. It is not about 1,000 people listening. It is about who is not there is not there. Who is there is ready to be there. And that is where we are at in a season. We say it the way it is. We make it clear that we are there for everyone. Trying to say that we are not going to wait for another day to be there to appear, but we make use of where we are today in order to say that yes, we are there, but we are gonna stand our ground in saying that how is it that I'm gonna know how to keep my seat. And sometimes you don't, like I've mentioned earlier, when we keep your seat, you don't have to fight with a fist. You don't have to fight with hatred, but you sometimes have to say that I'm gonna fight. And some say they fight for a better tomorrow. Some say they fight for a better day. Some say they fight for a better generation. Some say they fight for a prospering family. Others say they fight for the futures of their children. And others say they fight for a brighter day. But what is it that you stand for? How is it that you are going to say that fighting is no more about fighting with a fist, but fighting is appearing? How are you going to say that yes, we all want the same things, but we all have got to learn that what is meant for us is meant for every one of us? And that is where we are at with 1 + 1 and keeping your seed in the season. And today, I also want to focus on the fact that we are not there to have ourselves and our stories be told by someone else. Because when I keep my seat, I keep my story. And sometimes people want to be in your life, in your marriage life. It happens in marriages. It happens in friendships, that they want to be there to not have your best interest at heart, but for their own interest. And in order for us to know how to keep your seat, we need to know who are those around you. Who are those that are sitting there that are saying that, yes, I'm with you, but either they want to steal your seat because they don't know how to control their own seats, and now they want to have it all shifted and take it out upon you. And therefore, you have to make it clear sometimes that you know what, I respect you. You know what, I appreciate you. You know what, I am there for you. But you need to know your boundaries when you are in my space. You need to know your boundaries when you are around me. You need to know your boundaries when you are my friend sitting next to me. You need to know where I am at as a friend. And I'm not going to negotiate it. I'm not going to have it steal away from you. You need to know yourself, because I have gotten to know myself, and that's why I'm sitting in this seat. I'm not sitting in this seat because I've been put there, but I'm sitting in this seat because I have gotten to know myself a little bit more, and I've gotten to know who I am. And I'm reminded today of having to tune in one day on a video, and I know this person was sitting in a room. And while he was sitting in a room, he was rapping. And while he was rapping, he was surrounded with his family. And while his family was around him, I realized that everyone has got their own emotions around him. Everyone has got their own reactions around him. And even us who's tuning in and who's listening to him, we've got our own emotions. We sometimes listen wrong. We sometimes see the person as wrong. We sometimes want to respond and think that this person is hating on us. But we never realize to take a step back and understand, where is this person fighting from? What is it that this person is trying to say? What is it that this person is also saying that also exists from existence? And therefore, those who are standing around us, those who want to also be in the room, need to know how to keep their own seat, because it's an individual reaction. It's an individual choice. It's an individual response. And you're gonna have to make sure that whatever you say it from where you are at in life, that you don't say what someone else wants you to say, but that you stand your ground every season, that you know that people knows that this is where you are at and that this is your season, and no one else can tell you. If you say that this is my spring season, then it's your spring season. If you say that this is my autumn season, then it's your autumn season. You don't have anyone tell you anything else about that season, because you are there to make sure that you do what our exister, our creator, wants you to do. We each have an individual response every day. No one can tell you anything else, because we are all from the same presence that has brought us all here. And therefore, don't let anyone hinder that factor. And today I'm going to start with my Mama Martha, who kept her seat. And my Mama Martha kept her seat until the age of 92 years old. And my Mama Martha did not negotiate her seat. My Mama Martha was humiliated. Maybe sometimes we might not know, but she might have been fine with her seat. Sometimes we might not know. All we know is Mama Martha was a slave in the house of a family. But then we ask ourselves, was she really a slave? Or did they accept her as a daughter? Because I can remember when Mama Martha came to us as her own blood family, Mama Martha came without any words. Mama Martha did not have a lot to say. I remember we were staying in Chicago those years, and when Mama Martha entered our house, we were all excited because our grandmama is here, because we can now also tell the people that we have a grandmama, that we have also a grandmama that is alive on this earth, that our grandmama is also 80 years old, that our grandmama has also known how to keep her seat, that our grandmama has also known how to keep her step, that our grandmama has also known how to stand her ground. And sometimes standing her ground was probably abusing. The only thing I can remember of Mama Martha is that my Mama Anna said Mama Martha's mother was beheaded before her very own eyes. She had to saw her mother's head being taken off in front of her very eyes. And she was just a little girl. But Mama Martha kept her seat. Mama Martha had forgiveness. Mama Martha knew that everyone was existing from existence. Mama Martha knew that this was not her battle to fight. Mama Martha knew that somewhere in this lesson, somewhere in this that she's going through, there's a lesson to be taught, and she can't go and explain that lesson, but she's gonna have to allow life, she's gonna have to allow creation to explain to her what creation wants to explain to her. It's not about what they did, it's not about what happened. Yes, it's saddening, yes, it's upsetting, but we have to know that our exists from each and every one of us. We are not only the one receiving our blessing, but each and every one of us. And Mama Martha explained that to me without saying anything, only with appearing when I was a little girl in our house. And when she appeared, she only had this food that she used to make. And when she used to make the food, she used to store it. And we used to say it, we used to laugh and say, Mama Martha, why are you storing these foods? And my Mama Martha didn't argue anything. My Mama Martha just the next day make another pot of food, and she will eat the food, and then she will store it away. And then we say, but Mama Martha, why are you storing these foods? Mama Martha, there's gonna be tomorrow again. And Mama Martha just said, don't ask me questions. This is my food, and if I put it there, I leave it there. And then Mama Martha with the next day again put a pot of food, and the children was laughing, and we didn't know what to do because we were excited. But now our grandmama Martha is doing something. She's not saying anything. She's just appearing and just doing a thing in front of us. And the only thing we need to do is observe and learn. And I remember how I observed every step that Mama Martha took. And today I can say that Mama Martha says, never throw anything good away. Never throw anything on this earth away. Never throw anything away, because everything you have been blessed for, everything you have been blessed with, you don't go and throw a pot of food in the bin. But every time that you go and throw that pot of food in the bin, you remind yourself of Mama Martha, who taught you that lesson. My child, no matter my mistakes, my child, no matter my differences, no matter what I went through, but what I want to teach you in life is that you don't throw anything that God has meant to be here away, because God has meant it to be here. And that is a lesson of Mama Martha, having that mindset of knowing how to keep her seed, of knowing how to still tell a story, of knowing that no one could have kept it, no matter if she had to be in slavery, no matter if she had to see a mother suffering in the hands of slave drivers, and then she had to went and work for another people that might have seemed to us as slaves, but they accepted her. I remember the day that the family called where Mama Martha grew up, and they said Mama Martha was a mama to us. Mama Martha might not have been there for y'all, her own children, but we want to tell y'all the story of Mama Martha, that yes, y'all thought y'all have missed a mama, but you know what? We have received a mama. We have got lessons from a mama also. And they said that, you know what? It's not about what we have done wrong. It's not about what we don't know, but what we do know is that there's forgiveness in the story. It's not about how we see the story. It's not about how painful the story might be, but what we know as a generation is that there is forgiveness within all of us. And therefore we stand in season with saying that there is forgiveness when we allow ourselves to forgive, and when we allow ourselves to be forgiven, and when we allow ourselves to know that not everything is going to require you to fight back, not everything is going to require you to react, not everything is going to require you to be upset, but sometimes you're going to have to take that step back, because I'm going to explain to us that there's different ways of keeping our seeds today, but we have to know our strength within in order to keep our seeds. We have to know why it is important for you not to go and defend yourself when you keep your seed, because you don't know the reasons why things are happening. You don't know the reasons why you have to go through that challenge, because I remember Mama Martha's lesson in life was a lesson of forgiveness. And when Mama Martha gave unto Mama Anna walked out when Mama Anna saw that this household is not for me. Mama Anna said, Mama Martha, I might be at the age of 10 years old, I might be at the age of 11 years old, but I don't think I need to live the same story as you. And I remember Mama Anna walking out and Mama Anna walking out and saying that I have my own story, Mama Martha. And I remember Mama Martha and Mama Anna saying that I am not here, Mama Anna, to protect you. You might be 10 years old, my daughter, but I know the child that I have given birth to, and therefore I allow you to go and find your own space if you have to. I allow you to keep your seat the way you have to, because it's not my story. It is your own story now. And I remember at the age of 10 years old, Mama Anna used to walk out and say, but then Mama Martha can mother these children, but I'm going out and I'm going to find my own story. And then Mama Anna walked out with anger. Mama Anna walked out with hatred. Mama Anna walked out with resentment. And when Mama Anna found another family, it was not blood family. It was not family by blood. And then the family accepted Mama Anna. And when the family accepted Mama Anna, they told Mama Anna that, Mama Anna, there's one lesson that you also gonna have to teach in life, and that lesson is forgiveness. And I remember that family preparing Mama Anna, that family making Mama Anna their own family, that family receiving Mama Anna with love and care. I remember Mama Anna had to make the choice in the year of 1969. I remember Mama Anna telling me that there was a big earthquake, that happened in South Africa, the Saron Tolbach earthquake. Mama Anna said, my child, and that night I was on my walk of forgiveness. Mama Anna said, while I was on my walk of forgiveness to go and forgive my brother,